This is so ridiculous. I'm probably gonna get some really superficial answers like get your breasts done. Hello beautifuls, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to share with you some tips on how to be prettier. If you guys would like to see more videos from me and enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and also subscribe. I know that is weird to ask you guys to subscribe in the beginning of the video. Obviously, if you enjoy this video, at the end of the video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like it, and please feel free to share it with your friends and family because I think some of these tips will just help create a revolution. I'm just kidding. This video is a bit weird because I'm sharing with you how to be pretty, and I know that sounds a bit conceited to make this video because it sounds like, oh, I'm gonna tell you how to be pretty because I'm pretty. But if you watch till the end of this video, you will see that that is not the message that I'm trying to give, and you will be surprised with some of the tips that I share with you because some of them will be like things you never even thought of. Just make sure to watch the end of the video so that this whole thing doesn't come off as like me sounding conceited. This is a super spontaneous video, spontaneous in that I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I didn't have it planned or scripted or anything like that, but it's not so spontaneous because I've been wanting to film this type of video for a really long time now. I always thought it would be good to spread this message, and I think now that I'm getting older, it's just, I don't know, it's good to let people know that if you don't feel very pretty, you can make yourself be prettier. It's not just looks. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in this video. I also have a nice glass of wine. This is going to be a chatty video, so if you can, go and get your glass of wine, go and get something to eat because it's going to be chatty. It's not a simple like, oh, just smile more. Like, I want to provide more of an explanation as to why you should do each thing as opposed to just like listing off a bunch of things because I want to mostly share my experience with it and how it's worked for me. And then, yeah, so just get a friend, get a teddy bear, get a glass of wine, and just sit back and chit chat with me. So one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video and why I feel it's important to me is because it's actually been something that has changed my life. So when I was like fresh out of high school, I felt like I was getting uglier. Like, I felt like my appearance was getting uglier. And I'm not saying that like if you have these features it makes you ugly, but for me it was basically comparing myself to me. So when I was like in my freshman year, that was when, I forgot the term for it, not when I was at my peak, but that was when I was like at my shine. And I was very just well known for being a pretty girl. And I know that sounds conceited, but I'm just telling it how it is so I could give you guys my story. But ever since I was a child, a baby, until like my freshman, well, for many years, like almost my whole life, I was considered a pretty girl, and a lot of it contributed to the fact that I was mixed. And I don't know, people just at that time really liked the idea of me being like half black and half Asian, so it like instantly gave me credit, and people loved me a lot for my eyes. But more than that, I think, which I will get later into this video, a big chunk of it was the fact that I was kind and I was soft-spoken, that it made people admire me. So I went a long time like that, and then as soon as like I was getting out of high school, I really just honestly felt ugly, and it was difficult to deal with because, like I said, I had spent so many years thinking and feeling that I was pretty. So it hit me hard. We all have like these attributes about us, these traits about us that kind of define who we are and define us, give us this thing that we lean on to. Like, for example, some people are known for being really smart. Like my brother, for example, since he was a child, he was always known for being the smart person. So he kind of identified himself with it. Whether or not you want to, you just identify yourself with something that you constantly hear. Whether or not it's being funny or being pretty, smart, an athlete, when you have that and people constantly know you for being that, you kind of just attach yourself to that thing. So the fact that like in high school, the fact that I started feeling like I was getting uglier, it really it just really, really bothered me. And I know that sounds really shallow, but considering my circumstances, it's almost like if you were smart your whole life and then all of a sudden people keep calling you stupid or you feel stupid, you're gonna take it a lot harder than just an average Joe who's feeling like he's stupid. So yeah, when I graduated high school, I really wanted to change things about myself. I wanted to be pretty, and one of the things I did was, I know this sounds so crazy, this is probably like the most shallow thing I've ever searched on Google, but I literally typed in how to be pretty or how to be prettier on Google. And even as I was typing it, I was like, this is so ridiculous. I'm probably gonna get some really superficial answers like get your breasts done, lose some weight, get some hair extensions. But this changed my world because I learned tips that I would have never ever thought of. It's kind of like in the back of your head, but you're really not thinking, oh, if I change my inside or I change my mindset, like this will make me pretty or prettier. So anyway, in the beginning, I'm going to share with you the tips that I've actually used and have worked for me. And then towards the end, I'm going to share some tips that I've just recently learned that kind of make me think like, oh yeah, why wouldn't that work? So yeah, I'm going to share those tips with you, and then I'm also going to give a little talk through explanation on more about these tips, if that made sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place, but just bear with me. Let's get into tip number 1. Eat healthy. This was one of the first tips that I learned and that I implemented, and I felt like changed a lot for me. So eating healthy is like just eat more fruits and eat more veggies. Really try to stay away from too much like processed foods, fatty foods, oily foods, fried foods, etc. I know this might be hard for some, so what I would take away from this is just try to eat more fruits and try to eat more vegetables. Like when I say try, I mean literally try to eat them every single day. Try to have your veggies and your fruits every single day. Vegetables and fruits on itself have so many health benefits that also contribute to your beauty. So you can be eating stuff that make your skin look nicer, that make your hair grow longer, that make your nails grow longer. So that's what you can get from a lot of different fruits and a lot of different vegetables. For me, what I noticed is it happened, I started, eating more fruits and vegetables, and I noticed it one day through the way that my body looked. And it was weird because I had always been trying to lose weight, and I would lose weight, but I wasn't necessarily happy with the way that my body looked. Even if I would lose 5 pounds, I'd be happy because I got skinnier, but I still wasn't that happy because I still didn't like the way that my body looked. And when I started incorporating more fruits and more vegetables, I started liking the way that my body looked. And I'll never forget it. It was one day I was still in community college. I was walking to class and I had some short shorts on and a spaghetti strap. And I used to always be self-conscious about wearing spaghetti straps. But at this moment, I realized that I was wearing things that I used to be uncomfortable with. I used to never wear shorts. And yet I just kind of was in myself, and I was like, wow, I feel really good about my body, looking at myself in the classroom window, whatever things. That was such a pivotal moment for me because, I had been eating the fruits, I had been eating the vegetables, I'd all in all been eating healthier, but I never really stopped to check out my body and see how it was. And the crazier part was that I didn't lose any weight. And if anything, I had put on a couple more pounds, and yet I was so happy with the way that my body looked, mainly not because I was getting skinnier, but my body was getting more proportion. It was weird. I can't say that fruits and vegetables are going to do that, but I think it was just a combination of eating healthier and not starving myself that just made my body look proportional, and it made it look better. It wasn't about getting skinnier. It was about having a well-proportioned body. So that's why I think it is so important. Make sure that you're having your fruits, you're having your vegetables, and just overall eating healthier. It's going to be really difficult to achieve good skin if you're not eating good, and beauty really does come from within. So tip number 2 would be to have more water. I remember one of my friends at the time, had really clear skin. He was a guy, and he was just like, just drink more water, just drink more water. I was like, but he was like, no, just drink more water. And so I started drinking more water, and actually ever since that moment I really started to drink more water. It's crazy to think how sometimes we really just don't get a lot of water. Like, sometimes it doesn't even cross our mind. So all throughout high school, like, I never drank water. I would always drink like a Dr. Pepper. I would drink orange juice and milk because I had to for like dinner. But other than that, it was always soda. I never, ever drink water. Now, I don't even think twice about it. Like, 90% of what I drink is water. And anytime I go out to eat, I always drink water. I never get soda. I never get juice. I just always get water. So when I started drinking more water, it kind of gives you a glow after a while. And I think with the fruits and vegetables too, it kind of gives a little glow to your body. It's really nice. And it'll make you look nicer. It'll make you feel better as well. But with water, just be aware that water is not something you could just start drinking automatically, like you notice results. I would say give it about a year of drinking enough water, and you're just gonna notice that like you get sick less, your skin looks clearer, you break out less, and all that jazz. So definitely try having some more water. Tip number 3 is be kind. This is, I gotta say, a bit controversial, debatable, but I feel like it is difficult to find a truly beautiful person who's ugly, and vice versa. I find it really difficult to find someone who's so mean and beautiful. And I know this is controversial because you see things like the Mean Girls. When I see someone who's truly beautiful, I'm just like, 9 times out of 10, they usually have a beautiful soul. They're a beautiful, kind person. So treat other people with kindness. It will increase your chances of coming off as being prettier. There's a few ways to look at this. One of them is a spiritual way, in that if you are constantly being kind to people, people will think, okay, hey, she's pretty, because people tend to associate kindness with being pretty. It's really difficult to look at someone that's so nice and still say, God, she's so ugly. I mean, it can happen, but I feel like it's rare, you know. Throughout all my years, I feel like it's rare. So spiritually, it's like, well, if people keep thinking, oh, she's pretty, then even if you're not that pretty, that energy that they're putting out is going to come onto you, and you're just naturally going to become prettier. I have seen this through plenty of examples where I've seen girls who weren't that attractive, but they're so kind, they're so nice, that literally within like 1 to 3 years, they actually get prettier, like legit prettier. Like their hair gets longer, their hair gets shinier, they lose some weight. It's crazy, but I think for me, stop scratching. For me, I think it's a spiritual thing, and it's because people are thinking that you're pretty that is actually making you prettier. So you could totally disregard that, but that's just something that I think. I tend to be a spiritual person, so I think that. But on another level, when you are being kind and being nice, that's going to shine from within. If you're for lack of a better words, if you're a bitch, that is going to start showing. So maybe, you know, a lot of girls, maybe they're hot now, but the more they keep being mean, eventually they're going to start getting ugly. And I've seen that happen a lot of times too. I'm pretty sure you guys have too. The reason why I'm sharing this tip with you guys is because I learned a lot from it. I started to be more kind. I started to, how would I say be kind? Just being more kind, being nicer to people, showing more like respect and kindness to my friends, being nicer to strangers, making sure I'm saying my thank yous, my hellos, my, you know, just being kind in general. And I started doing that more. That was a pretty big tip for me because I never really thought at the time that being kind would help me be prettier, but it helped go a long way. The thing is like you just get used to it and it eventually becomes a part of you. And the biggest reason why you continue to be kind is because you get rewarded for it. Like me being kind and being nice I have so much more luck than I ever did before because I'm a lot more kind and generous, and I don't know about giving yet. I'm still not that giving, but I'm definitely a lot more kind than I used to be. And although sometimes it felt difficult, I kept at it because of all the rewards that I was getting and all the luck that I was getting. And now I just love being kind. I think some people that I hung out with high school might look at me and might be like, oh, you changed, what's wrong with you? But yeah, this is who I am now. I'm a lot more kind, I'm a lot more sweet than I've ever been before, and I do not regret it at all. Another tip that I also started working on was taking care of your appearance. This means staying groomed, keeping up with your hygiene. One thing, for example, is that I always kept my nails not trimmed but even. So if like one fingernail broke off, I would cut all of them to be even because it just looks nicer. So I have like OCD about that now. I can never have like uneven nails anymore. I always have to have them be the same size. Or, you know, just make sure you take good care of your nails, because ironically, long nails will help your fingers to look prettier. Making sure you bathe, making sure you wash your hair, making sure you smell nice and everything like that, making sure your hair is good. Till this day, I'm still not like super uptight about my hair, but your hair can really help to improve the way you look. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree that there are girls out there that their face isn't so pretty, but their hair is really nice, and so it kind of just balances them out. So definitely consider taking care of your hair. Make sure you're getting your trims. If it doesn't look good straight, curl it. You know, if it doesn't look good flat, blow dry, or what's it called? Put texturizing spray, whatever, to make your hair give it more volume. Just make sure you're taking care of your hair, because your hair matters a lot. Also your skin, make sure to take care of your skin, because that is like the first thing people see. If you have a bunch of pimples on your skin, you might not feel so pretty. If you have uneven skin tone, that's something that I struggled with. I had uneven skin tone and I had like little pimples on my cheeks. So I fought really hard to fix that. And getting a more even skin tone helped a lot too, to just make me feel more confident about my appearance. So just these little things can go a long way. Also making sure to have like good eyebrows, because eyebrows are like, it just makes or break your whole look. And seriously, there's been like throughout the years, if ever I'm not feeling so good about my appearance, I'll always check my eyebrows and fix them up. And 9 times out of 10, just by me fixing my eyebrows, it makes me feel better about myself. And making sure they're symmetrical. Another thing about being pretty, or how people perceive us as being pretty, is having a symmetrical face. So the left and right is symmetrical. So if there's anything you could do to make it more symmetrical, this is kind of shallow. This doesn't need to be done, but if you can make it happen, then it's just a little bonus. But one of the ways to do that is making sure your eyebrows are as close as possible. You know, sometimes one of my eyes is smaller than the other, so on the smaller eye I'll put a little bit extra eyeliner on that eye. You know, just making sure things look more symmetrical, and overall just taking care of the outer appearance. So I think this is the last tip that I have directly applied to myself. It's not really godly, like this wouldn't be in the Bible. This would be like against the law of physics. Okay, but basically it's to love yourself. Literally tell yourself that you love it. And this is something I wanted to share for so long, but I really wanted to give it more time to see if it actually is working. And that is to, whenever you are like doing something, literally tell yourself that you love it. So the first things that I started to do is with this thing on my head, my hair. I don't know what my hair is looking like right now on camera, but I'm pretty content with my hair, okay? Because this HD camera is just like making you all types of things you didn't think you were. So I don't know what my hair looks like right now. But one of the things I started doing is I started to tell my hair that I loved it. So when I would shower, when I would blow dry, and when I would straighten my hair, I would literally inside my head, like this is how it goes. I would just like do my hair and be like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Now I amp it up and I'm like, I love you, my hair is long, my hair is beautiful. But yeah, I would do that inside my head. And what got me to do this is, well, that one video where it says like, it's about like water, and when you think about positive thoughts, it makes the water molecules like form a nice pattern, but then when you think nasty thoughts, it makes the patterns all like messed up. So I kind of got the idea from that, and I applied it to my body and my hair. And I realized one day when I was doing my hair, I put a lot of hate into it. I was just like, oh man, I'm tired of doing this, and oh, my hair's so dry, I hate my hair. You know, it wasn't really like I hate it, but there was so much hate going into it. And it just like, I was like, I had a eureka moment. And I was like, why don't I flip that? And I lie and say, I love my hair. So I started doing that, and I kid you not, within like the first week of me doing that, if not sooner, I started to find products that actually would work on my hair. And overall, my hair started to become a lot more manageable. And at the end of the day, I ended up actually loving my hair. So this has probably been about 3 or 4 years of me doing this. And I could finally say throughout all those years, I am now so happy with my hair. I never thought I would have got to this state, but I've worked on my hair so much because I am black and am half black. So I do have more coarse, difficult hair. But I'm now at a place where like the texture of my hair, I've changed the texture of my hair. My hair has become shinier. My hair is easier to straighten. And I genuinely like love my hair. It's even now to a point where it's getting longer. And I was doing that too. I was telling like, well, I think in like the past year I've been telling myself like, oh, my hair is long. Or probably like the past 6 months I've been telling my hair like, oh, my hair is long, my hair is long. So all in all, I'm now a firm believer that if you put more love into what you're doing as opposed to hate, you will help to improve those things. Obviously, exercise and eating healthy and all that stuff can help, but I think when you're putting that good energy into your body, you are going to speed up the process of perfecting yourself or making yourself prettier. If you're constantly telling yourself you love your hair, you're going to make it a reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you love your body, you know, the universe is going to find things that will make that more of a reality. So even if you do not love it, or even if you hate, maybe you have a big stomach and you hate it, just start lying to it and hold on to your tummy and just keep repeating that you love it, that it's tight, that you got abs. You know, it might take a while, but I'm just such a firm believer that that will work.